Hey guys, welcome to my vegan kitchen. I'm Michelle. Today I have two really delicious, quick, and easy side salads for you guys. It's perfect for this time of year, for family gatherings or for whatever. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, tap on the bell, and let's cook. So let's start with the first of the two easy salad. This one is my version of Fuji Apple Salad. It's so easy, guys. Minimal ingredients. We're talking about just like a couple of ingredients. You may have to run to your grocery store to grab the salad dressing, but other than that, this is a really, really easy recipe. All right. So I have a red onion here. All my ingredients are laid out right here. With the red onion, I'm just gonna dice that down. I just want little small pieces of red onions in this salad. So I'm just gonna slither and then I'm just gonna dice that tiny pieces. Just so they just have little bites of onion and for it not to be too overwhelming. And we're gonna toss that in the bowl. And I probably shouldn't have did the onions first, because now it's making me cry. All right, let's hope I don't mess up my mascara. All right, you're gonna get one apple, and this is a Fuji apple, but any really sweet apple will do. And we're just gonna cut this down into little cubes. You don't have to take the skin off. The skin actually makes it a little bit more interesting within the salad. So I'm gonna cut that down again into small pieces. So little diced pieces. This apple actually smells really good. And my eyes are watering everywhere. Oh my gosh. My eyes are literally tearing. So give me a minute. Let me go wipe my eyes and come back. All right, guys. So we are back. Get your apples, diced apples right into the bowl. I'm going to take a bite because that smells so good. This is a nice sweet apple. Okay. You're going to get yourself some Brussels sprouts. Now, I like to buy the pre-shaved Brussels sprouts. I got this from Trader Joe's. However, you could just buy regular Brussels sprouts, put them in your food processor, and get it shredded down to this size. Okay? You're going to place that in your bowl. Oh my gosh, I probably should have had a bigger bowl. Let me grab a bigger bowl. Give me a second. Sometimes I underestimate the size of what comes in these little bags. So let's dump this into a larger bowl. All right. Our onions, our apples. And then we're gonna add some walnuts to this. Already have some candied walnuts right here. And all I did, guys, I took a handful of walnuts and I put it in. Got a lot going on here. I took a handful of walnuts. I placed it in my skillet. I don't know where I was going. I was going to show you guys a skillet. I put it in my skillet, let it start to heat up, kind of shake the pan a little so the walnut doesn't stick to the pan. And then I add a little bit of maple syrup, just a little bit, maybe like a tablespoon and a half, and let it cool down. I add a little bit of salt also. Oh my God, these are so good. And let it cool down on parchment paper, and then I add it right to the salad. When I tell you, that's a nice little crunch. Oh my God. All right. Oh God, this is so good already. I've had salad. I've had apples, and then I had the walnuts. And this is the problem. I'm always snacking in between the meals, but we'll talk about that later. We're going to talk about my weight loss journey a little bit later. All right. So, got that off. I went to the grocery store and I got this. This is my little secret weapon here. This Panera Bread Fuji Apple vinaigrette. This is all you need. Just grab one of these. You're going to pour it right on top of the salad. And if you notice, I didn't say the ingredients will be in the recipe will be in the description box because I really don't have a formal recipe. It's kind of just like throwing everything together and eyeballing it. And when it looks right, it's right. It looks like it needs a little bit more salad dressing. So you add a little bit more salad dressing. You don't want it to be dry. This is a more moist salad. So you don't want it to be dry. You kind of just mix everything up, and you're gonna let it just kind of sit and marinate for maybe an hour before you serve it. That's it. When I tell you it comes out to be the most delicious salad, everybody's gonna think you spent like all day coming up with this recipe. It works every single time. It's always a hit at every single family event that I go to, especially Easter events. For some reason, this works really nice in the Easter. All right, that's it. Mix it up, let it sit for an hour. I'm just gonna taste just a little piece of this leaf just to kind of make sure that salad dressing is right. That salad dressing is right. All right, I'm gonna let everything marinate though. Oh my God, that is good. I'm gonna put this on the side and we're gonna move to the next salad. All right, the second recipe, it takes a little bit more prep work, but God, it's worth it. All right, I have my sweet potatoes here. And don't worry guys, I will have the ingredients listed in the description box. So just go right down there and I'll have it all there. I washed my sweet potato and dried it. I'm going to leave the skin on. You can take the skin off if you want to, but I just find the skin gives it more texture, also the nutrition in the skin. So I leave the skin on. We're gonna dice these potatoes down. So we're just gonna make them smaller sizes. And when I say dice, I don't mean like small pieces. We're still gonna leave them like potato salad pieces. All right, look how pretty that is. So pretty. All right, so I'm cutting this down. And then, so these are the sizes that I'm talking about, just kind of like that, all right? So you see how I did that? This will help it to cook faster, and also we'll have nice big pieces. Let's get this little butt part off. I don't like that. I go down the middle. All right, so let me dice up or cut up the rest of these potatoes, and then we're gonna put them in a pot of boiling water. And then we're gonna cook these potatoes till they're kind of al dente, not till they're soft, just fork tender. I'm gonna go put these potatoes right in the pot. There they go. Drop them right in. And we're gonna let that boil. Now we're gonna move to the next step. So this is my version of a warm potato salad. I don't know why I call it that, because you really eat it at room temperature, but not cold, but you can have it cold, because if there's leftovers, you kind of could have it the next day and it tastes even better. So what you see me unboxing here is some vegan bacon. Yes, guys, some vegan bacon. And I don't do process a lot, but for this recipe, you need some bacon bits. And I guess I could have used tempeh or something like that, but I want to make this really easy for you guys to make. I mean, I don't want you to have to think about it. Literally, just like throw it together and be ready to go. We got the bacon package open. We're gonna cut this little small pieces. So I'm just cutting the bacon right out of the package, just like this. Nice and easy. You could break it apart like that, or you could put it in a pot, and once it starts to cook, it will just kind of break apart. All right, I'm gonna get a skillet heated up, and we're gonna place this right in the skillet and get this nice and brown. Okay, so I have my skillet going. I have that heating up, and to the skillet, I'm just gonna add some oil. This is just grapeseed oil. I just wanna make sure that my bacon has enough fat, because you know with the vegan foods, a lot of times they don't have enough fat, so it doesn't give you that real authentic flavor and taste and texture that you're used to. So I'm just adding some oil to the pot, and then my bacon I'm just gonna dump right in, and I'm gonna allow that to get nice and brown. So while the bacon is getting nice and brown, I'm gonna also add some cooked red onion to the bacon to get it caramelized. So all I'm doing is just cutting thin slices of my red onion, as much as you like, because I honestly, I can't even tell you like how much to put in there. Just enough to kind of give it flavor. I love red onions, so I do put quite a bit in there. this is probably how much I'm gonna put in there. So it's probably half of a red onion. I'm gonna go put that right in the pot with the bacon. And we're gonna let that kind of cook with the bacon and let both of it kind of caramelize together. So while the bacon cooks and the onion, I'm finely chopping some celery. I really don't like celery in salads, but this gives it a nice flavor. So I'm just kind of finely chopping some celery and just a stalk of green onion. Again, finely chop it. And this is gonna be added once the salad starts to come together. We'll add it in at the end. The potatoes are done. That's one thing. When you cut the potatoes like that, they cook really fast. So if you have to make the salad really quickly, perfect. It's the perfect way to get your potatoes to cook really quickly. Anyway, let me get these potatoes. We're gonna drain off the water, all right? Safety first. They're really hot. Okay, get all the water off. We don't want any water inside of this bowl. And I made sure this time I got a nice big bowl to put, so we can mix this all in. Look how pretty those potatoes are. Aren't they pretty? All right, so we get them in the bowl right there. Our bacon and our onion is done. And see, I made it cook till it was nice and crispy. You do want it crispy because it's gonna be in, mayonnaise, and the mayonnaise is gonna kind of get it soggy, so we don't want it to get soggy. So we're gonna pour that right in here, right on top of our potatoes. See how easy these recipes are, guys? Let's see if you can see what that looks like. All right, that's all in there. Remember, our potatoes were cooked al dente, so they're not too soft, not too hard. I'm just kind of releasing some of the heat and getting all the flavors marinated together. This is now when I'm gonna throw in my celery and my onions, just to kind of like let the heat kind of release some of the flavors into the potatoes. And I'm just gonna give it maybe 5 minutes just to kind of sit and cool down before I add the other ingredient. And then just like that, we'll be done. So I allowed the potatoes just to cool down a little bit. They don't have to be cold. You still see a little bit of steam on it. That's about 5 minutes because there's still a lot of heat in there. But I really didn't want to put the mayonnaise right on top of the potatoes and then the mayonnaise become too oily. We still want some creaminess. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to add some rice vinegar, or you can add apple cider vinegar also. Just a little bit. This is just really just to kind of break the flavor a little bit, not really to change it, just to kind of like bring out the flavor. Even though your bacon is salty, and I can't believe I'm saying this on a vegan channel, but you can add some turkey bacon if you have to, okay? If you guys just don't want to do the vegan, you can add turkey bacon, because let me tell you, this recipe is really, really, really good. And I used to eat it before I went vegan, so that's how I know. All right, I'm gonna also add a little bit of black pepper. Again, I gotta add a little bit of spice. I need something on my tongue to make it dance, just to make it like more interesting. So I'm adding a little bit of black pepper. You could also add white pepper if you don't like the harshness of the black pepper. All right, we're gonna give that a little stir. Get that incorporated. Now we're gonna add some dill relish. That's it. That looks like about a tablespoon. I hope you guys watch this video all the way through, because I'm telling you, I really don't have exact measurements for this. I kind of just throw it together and it always comes out right. I'm gonna add some vegan mayonnaise. And that looks like maybe about 2 tablespoons. And we're gonna mix that up. This is when it really gets nice. Look at that. I tell you, I love this salad. This salad is so good. So this is just a warmer version of a potato salad, but we made it a little healthier with some sweet potatoes. And yeah, that's what it is. Again, I like for my salads to sit just a little bit, just so it can get, the flavors can marinate together. But that's pretty much it, guys. It's done. I'm going to give it a little bit of taste just to make sure that the flavor is right and there's enough salt in there. Let's go in like right here, and we plate it up. That's nice. Maybe just a little bit more salt. And that's it. That's that salad. All right, let me get this in a nice bowl so you guys can see what it looks like. Let's scoop everything into this bowl. Or if you have a more attractive display bowl, that would work also. So once I get that all in there, sometimes I'll have like little pieces of bacon that I'll just kind of drizzle on top, and some green onions, just kind of chop it up. And that is my warm sweet potato salad. So we got 2 salads going, guys. That was easy. Let me grab the other one. 2 easy salads. Look how pretty they are, full of color. We got our Fuji Apple Salad, and that's made with Brussels sprouts. And we have this sweet potato salad. It's a warm sweet potato salad. 2 salads for you guys. I had to get it to you this weekend so you have something to show off on your table. Thank you guys for joining me in my vegan kitchen. Hit the subscribe button, tap on the bell, and I'll see you next time for another easy, delicious, and nutritious recipe. Bye, guys.